Minister of Community Social Services.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I rise today in recognition of the International Day of Persons with Disabilities, which occurred this past Saturday, December 3rd. Since 1992, this day has been recognized around the world as a reminder of our goal to build a more inclusive and equitable world for persons with disabilities, and the theme for the 2016 Day of Persons with Disabilities is achieving 17 goals for the future we want. This theme notes the recent adoption of the United Nations 17 Sustainable Development Goals and the role of these goals in building a more inclusive and equitable world for persons with disabilities. In Ontario today, nearly 2 million people have some type of disability, and approximately 70,000 of those are people with a developmental disability, and my remarks will concentrate particularly on this population. Our government continues to make meaningful progress to remove barriers to inclusion for those with disabilities so they can take part in every aspect of social, economic, political and cultural life. Les ministères du gouvernement œuvrent de concert.
Our government continues to make meaningful progress to remove barriers to inclusion for those with disabilities so they can take part in every aspect of social, economic, political and cultural life.
Disabilities have a secure and safe place to live, can join community recreation programs, find employment, go to school and live independently in their communities. In 2014, our government made an unprecedented investment of $810 million over 3 years to improve and expand community and developmental services. Thanks to the support and hard work of our agency partners, we have already begun to see results. We eliminated the 2014 wait list for the Special Services at Home programs in just 8 months, well ahead of the 2-year goal stated in our 2014 budget. We funded 18 housing projects recommended by the Developmental Services Housing Task Force to help address the growing need for a broader range of housing solutions that offer individuals more choice and flexibility. We're supporting a pilot project that will enable 1,100 adults with a developmental disability to develop their own person-directed plans to help them choose what they want to do in life, connect with their communities and reach their goals. And through this pilot project, more than 450 people are working with independent facilitators to plan their futures. We have launched 38 projects under the Employment and Modernization Fund to foster a culture of change in the developmental services sector. Earlier this fall, we released a second proposal call to fund further projects. We're investing in the skills development and personal growth for thousands of Ontarians while building their independence, empowerment and inclusion in society. By working cooperatively with agencies, families and individuals with developmental disabilities, we have begun to gradually move away from sheltered workshops towards inclusive employment and meaningful community participation. Nous sommes toutefois bien conscients que certaines circonstances.
However, we recognize that financial circumstances can be a barrier to accessibility.
Provides approximately 480,000 Ontarians with support under the Ontario Disability Support Program. ODSP provides financial and employment supports for adults with disabilities in order to help them find a job and keep it. We continue to make this program work better for individuals with disabilities. Just this September, we raised ODSP rates by another 1.5% for individuals with disabilities. That's a 20% increase in ODSP rates since 2003. In particular, many adults with developmental disabilities rely on ODSP funding supports. In fact, more than 19% of ODSP recipients have a developmental disability. That is why we are taking steps to improve people's experience with our developmental services and social assistance systems. As of this past September, once a person is eligible for adult developmental services, they will no longer have to go through a second process to prove they qualify for ODSP. Our passport program also provides direct funding to give families and individuals more choice and the flexibility to purchase the supports that best fit their needs. Today, more than 19,000 individuals with developmental disabilities receive passport funding. Just last week, I hosted a developmental services housing forum with people with developmental disabilities and their families, developmental services agencies, and supportive housing experts here in Toronto. The forum provided an excellent opportunity to share ideas on how to help remove barriers, improve opportunities, and support the creation of innovative and inclusive housing for adults with developmental disabilities. We held parallel forums in communities across Ontario, including Chatham, Ottawa, Orangeville, and Thunder Bay. Many others watched online or joined the conversation on social media. I was extremely pleased with the discussions and feedback. We will be posting the ideas we received during these discussions on our ministry website. Looking ahead, the Ontario government and service agencies are committed to supporting people with developmental disabilities and their families to shape a pathway to make services easier and ensure the experience always puts the person first. Nous allons continuer de déployer de grands efforts.
We will continue to work hard to raise the bar on inclusion.
In the coming months, we will be working with our partner agencies and Developmental Services Ontario to explore new ways we can improve people's experiences, making it easier to navigate the system and access services. Similarly, we are looking to improve how we can better administer direct funding programs like Passport to better serve individuals and families, to manage their funding more independently and streamline how they are reimbursed for services. Mr. Speaker, I'm sure everyone here would undoubtedly agree that people with developmental disabilities have the right to live as independently and safely as possible in their communities. Looking ahead, we will continue to work to create new opportunities and build a better future for all people with disabilities. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Statements by ministry.